welcome back everyone to Blender and Unreal Engine becoming a dungeon prop artist, and this is where we left it off. Now let's bring in our materials again. So we're going to bring in our materials. Let's put it onto our cycles render. Let's grab one of these materials, so Shift D, like so, and then what we'll do is we'll come over to this material, and the one we want to bring in, let's have a look then. So we'll open up our textures again, and the one we want is called Dungeon Wood Course. So if I grab this, and I'm just going to copy this part of it, so Control C, let's come to this one. So I'm going to minus this off, click a new one, Control V, press Enter, and now let's go to this one first. So we'll go to Shading Panel, just going to steal up for these, so Control C, and then I'm going to put it onto Cycles Render. I'm going to come to this one, press Control V, and that's those in. Now I can come to my principled, Control Shift T, and now I can go to the Dungeon Wood Course, which is this one here. Grab all of these except the direct text. We don't need direct text, so we can get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is grab all of these. And the direct text, by the way, is there because if you're taking these into Unreal Engine, you're actually going to need those. So it's important that you actually have those there. So I'm just deleting mine now, just so you know which one it is that we're using. But for you, just make sure that you keep yours in there, or just re-download them if you've deleted some. Just don't keep deleting them like I am. So let's click on the principle like so, and there we go. We can see now we've got our wood course. Now let's bring in our actual color, and we'll plug that into our color ramp, and then we'll plug this color into the top, and finally then this into the bottom, like so. And now we should be able to bring out that material a little bit. Let's have a look at our strength of our wood, like so. Let's zoom up to it with dot. I'm going to turn this down to 0. Yeah, something like that looks fine. I'm just looking now at the strength. Can I bring that out a little bit? Like so. All right, so something like, yeah, we'll turn it up to a little bit higher, 3.6 or something like that. All right, so that's looking pretty nice. Now you can see why we've done that, because now we can use that on our cutlery and things like that. So let's go back to modeling now. And now we should, if I turn this onto material, and now let's come to, so we'll hide these out of the way again, like so. Come to our plates, press the little dot button, and now let's start UV unwrapping these. So I think first of all, I'll just grab them. I'm looking at beveling them as well, so I think I'll do that. I think I'll just bevel like a tiny bit. I'll do some manual beveling on this, not actually using the bevel modifier. So all I'll do is I'll just come in, hold Shift and click around each of these, and I'll press Control B, just bevel them off. You can see that it's not working correctly, and that's because I might as well do them all at the same time actually. So I'm just shift clicking each of these, Control A, all transforms, right click, origin to geometry, and now I should be able to go in and bevel them off. So I'll do this one first, Control B, bevel it off, just a slight bit, as you can see. I'm thinking I've got 2 bevels on there, and I really don't want that. So let's go back, Control B, and let's just turn that down to 1, like so, and that looks a ton better. Now let's do this one. Very, very slight bevel on the plate. So Control B, very slight, like so. And let's do the underneath as well. So Control B, like so. And the spoon wants also probably a very, very slight bevel on it. So going all the way around the bottom and the top, like so. And this side, like so. Press the dot button, zoom in so I can actually use it. Press Control B, pull it in very, very slightly, like so, and that's looking a ton better. All right, so now let's bring in our material. So we're going to bring in the wood course, and we're going to put it on each of these, like so, like so. All right, and you can see exactly what it's going to look like, albeit though it doesn't want to actually look like that in the end. So we're probably going to need to mark some seams on this one. So I will actually do that. I'll mark a seam going around here, and I'll also mark a seam going around here. So mark seam, and I'll also then mark a seam probably from this to this here. Right click, mark a seam. All right, now let's try unwrapping this one. So I'm going to grab it, I'm going to press U, Smart UV Project, and click OK. So the actual bottom of it, as you can see, is unwrapped really nicely. It's just this bit here, which we knew we'd have a problem with. So all we need to do now is just come in, grab it from here, press L, and then we're going to press U, and we're going to light map pack, OK, press U again, and then we're going to follow active quads, click OK, and there you go. Now you can see it's looking tons better. I don't even think I need to go in and actually alter that. Maybe I do. It's a little bit too grainy on this, so maybe I should. So I'm just going to go now to my UV editing. I'm going to press tab. I'm going to press dot just to zoom in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think, let's try just bringing that in first. So S and Y. And you can see here that I've still got my proportional editing on. So when I brought that in, look, you can see there's a little circle there. So make sure it's turned off. Then S and Y. Bring it in a little bit. And then let's come to the center of this one. So we'll grab it with face select. And I'm just looking, if I bring this out a little bit, yeah, that's going to look a ton better, as you can see. Let's grab the bottom of it, A, S, bring it out. And there we go. That's looking really nice. All right, let's shade it smooth. Bring in our auto smooth. And there we go. And then finally, I'm thinking, yeah, I've not got any move tool in here either. So I'm just going to press your space bar, bring in my move tool, just so I've got that. And I'm thinking that I'm pretty much done with that, actually. Now, let's come to the bowl. So the bowl, same thing again. Can I get away with unwrapping it all in the same way? If I press A, it should just grab it all. U, and let's come to Smart UV Project. Yeah, and it's going to be a mess like that. So we need to actually sort that out. So I'm going to pretty much do what I did before by marking some seams out. I'm going to also, just to make it a little bit easier, sometimes it is, if I pull this right over, I can put it on object mode, and then I can really see what I'm doing. So I can actually hide the bottom of it out and just grab this part here. So I'm going to grab this, and then grab this, and I'm going to grab it around here, right click, and mark seam. All right, and then I just want a seam going down here. So Alt, Shift, and click, and it's going to take it going all the way around. I'm going to mark a seam like so, and then finally I'm just going to get rid of this one here because we really don't need a seam on there. So clear seam, and you should end up with a seam going down, a seam going down here, and basically you should be able to unwrap this much better now. So now if you put this back on material and grab it again, press U, unwrap, you will end up with something like that. Now this part is not, none of it is perfect, so as you can see. So we need to actually sort that out. The middle part of it's okay, and the bottom part of it's okay. It's just these edges that we need to sort out. So let's do the same thing as what we've been doing. So L, U, and the reason as well, you can use something. So if I go over the top and I'll just show you, U, and you can use sphere projection. But the problem is because it's a bowl and the wood grain, as you can see, it's trying to actually make it like that. We've got a seam in there, which is kind of messing it up. But the reason why we can't do that is because that's not really the way the wood grain would go, as you can see. So again, not going to work. You could also as well unwrap this project from view, but I think the best way to unwrap this is the way that we're doing. So I'll grab this one, L, U, and then when we light map pack, okay, and U, and follow active quads, click OK. And there you go. You can see just how much better that actually looks. Now all we need to do is we need to just put it into place. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, put it into the middle, make it bigger then, and then I'm just going to have a look, and that's perfect. That's the way that I want it. So now let's do the inside as well. So L, U, follow active quads, okay, and there we go. All right. I think actually I want the other side probably on 90, spin it round. Yeah, that's the way I want it. All right, I'm happy with this bit here. I just need now to unwrap this part on the bottom. So you can see here, I need to mark a seam somewhere along here. So I'm going to grab this part here, right click, mark seam, and then I just want a seam somewhere in the bottom. Might as well put it in the same place as this wood grain. So I'm going to grab this, right click, mark seam. Again, grab the bottom of it, L, U, light map pack, U, follow active quads, okay, A, G, bring it into the center, like so, S and Y, pull it out a little bit. And there we go. Perfectly unwrapped bowl. Except maybe, I'm just looking at this middle bit. Do I want it unwrapped like that? I think actually I'm going to leave that. I think it looks, it looks good enough, I think. All right, so now let's come to our spoon. And we'll see, first of all, if we can unwrap it like we did before. So, Smart UV Project, click OK. AR90. Yeah, and I think actually with the spoon, probably going to be okay as long as we just rotate it so it's straight, not an angle. So I'm just going to grab my spoon, put it in the middle. Yeah, you can see I've got a few problems there, so I'm just going to grab it, spin it round. There we go, that looks certainly bad. And there we go, I think that is going to actually look okay. Alright, so let's put the spoon in to the bowl. So I'm just grabbing it, putting it over, and then all I'm going to do is just rotate it. So R, X, rotate it, put it up against the side, like so. Just make sure it's in there. And then just rotate it on the Z, so RZ, and there we go. And then just move it a little bit over, double tap the A, and there we go. Bowls and plates, really simple things. Now, I'm just wondering whether this spoon would be made of wood. Maybe it would be. We do have some metal that we can use as well, remember? So I think what we'll do is we'll give the metal a try as well. So I'll grab my spoon, and because we self-follow materials, really easy now just to go and change it to something else. So iron old, or what else we've got? We've got iron grainy, or let's shade it smooth as well. Let's put on our auto smooth. Let's make sure our bowl's also shaded smooth. There we go. And let's also bring it up because it's stuck in there. You can see that now. There we go. And I'm thinking, should it be metal? Let's put this onto, there we go, onto our renderer. Now we can see exactly what we're looking at. All right, so I'm happy with that. It's just a spoon that I'm not happy with still, so I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to go back to my material. Let's put it on the wood course. Let's try the other wood. Where's the other wood? So we've got wood. There we go. Yeah, and I think I'm going to have it on the wood course actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to have it like that. Just blends in a little bit too much. So I could go in and make another material and make it a little bit darker. I'm going to actually check out the iron old. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to actually have it like that. I'm going to make it metal instead, because then if you do forks and things like that, then at least you can use them. All right, so let's go back to modeling now. And what we'll do then is we'll just save out the file. And on the next one, then what we'll do is we'll actually name these, and then we can start on our jug. We'll do the jug next, and then finally we'll move on to the elk mugs. All right, everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.